2, 1. Good morning, guys. It's a fantastic day. Let me get all the stuff together, and we will start in just a moment. So pop out the chat, copy, and go into the softwares, chat, properties, paste. Okay. All right, so we got that. And now let's get this popped over. All right, chat's working. Beautiful. Beautiful. Butego. And let's get this shared. Copy the link. Let's put this on Twitter. I don't know. Do I have a Twitter account? I know I have a Twitter account. What am I talking about? I don't know. I'll figure that out later. Doesn't matter. We'll do the Book of Faces because I know that's already signed in. So let's go to Knightsmith. I definitely need to do something with this today. And post it to the Book of Faces. All right. And let's share that. Awesome, awesome. Okay. Beautiful morning, guys. What's the weather out here right now? It was 6 o'clock. Come on. 36 degrees. It's sunny. Yesterday was like 60 something in the middle of the afternoon. It was beautiful. So I spent the last couple days at the shop trying to get some stuff done. And I've come up with this idea. So I have this craft fair coming up, and I'm trying to do things that I can batch out really fast that also look quality. Well, that are quality. Just because I can do it fast doesn't mean it's not good. But I'm trying to find some stuff that I can batch out and do quality of. And I saw all these 4x4 posts, which were the benches, the legs of the benches that I hung off the walls. The last couple weeks I've been thinking, what can I do with these bloody things? So I'm looking at them, and then I find this book I have on carving wizards. It's just a woodworkers magazine that I got 10 years ago, 15 years ago, I don't know, on wood carving. And I'm looking at this thing, and I look through it, and I show it to Aaron, and he's like, oh, that's cool. Well, I get to it, and I'm looking at it, and it just clicks in my head. I can carve these into 4x4s, because you're supposed to start with a square 90-degree face to carve into on both sides. I was thinking, wow, this would really suck if I did it with like a handsaw and a chisel. I could do it. It would just take a long time, And then I remembered my dad, a while back, he gave me an oscillating tool from Dremel, one of the ones that the head shakes back and forth. It does plunge cuts. Well, doing a plunge cut at that angle and something that large is the same as taking a saw and doing it, or doing it with a pocket knife on a small piece. So now I'm carving, wizards out of chunks of 4x4s. But I figure I can charge maybe $50 a piece. I'm breaking that down by, if I'm charging normally $35 an hour, and it takes me, an hour and 15 minutes to do the whole thing. And that kind of works out. Maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less. But I found that it would take me maybe 3 hours to do them if I did them one at a time. Okay. Well, how can I speed that up? Make this actually a project that people both want and that I can afford to sell. And that's kind of the name of the game, is finding ways, not shortcuts, but efficiencies. Because I don't like taking shortcuts. Shortcuts lead to broken product, unsatisfied customers. Efficiencies lead to me making a livable wage. So I found out that if I line up 4 of them at a time and I mark them all at the same time, and then I do all the same cuts, the 2 cuts or 3 cuts or whatever on each of them, now that stage, that 3 hours has dropped down to 2 hours. So each one is still unique, even though I marked them all at the same time and cut them all at the same time. I'm freehanding the cuts, and using that oscillator is just a way to hog out the material. So if I was doing it with a saw and a chisel, it might take me 12 hours. Doing them one by one with the oscillating tool, the Dremel, it takes me about 3 hours. That's a quarter of the time. Beautiful. All right, now doing them all at the same time takes me down to 2 hours. But if I use the oscillator to also clear out the waste and the bandsaw to cut the hats, that takes me down from 2 hours to about an hour and 15 minutes. Because at the end of the day, I still have to, hand carve them. It's just that this is using or taking out the bulk of the waste. Which is exactly what you want. You want the bulk of the waste gone as quickly as possible. So I got these guys coming through, and I need to pick up my leather tools again this week. While I'm not at the shop, I need to be in here working on leather goods. Doing the I want to focus on maybe 4 items, leather wise. I want to do a couple wallets. I want to do a couple SD card holders. I think those will be real good for Christmas. Just by virtue of people who get into photography or whatever, it's a good way to store all your SD cards. So you got that going on. Maybe do a few giant coasters, a few of those wristwatch thingies that I do, and maybe a few beer koozies. That way I have a section of leather goods, I have a section of some turned goods, I have some hand worked goods, it gives a good wide selection for people to choose from. And it looks like I have a chat, so let's hop on over to the chat screen, shall we? Good morning, Eileen. I saw them on the Facebook. They look cool. Thanks. It really was just a spur of the moment. Hey, I can do this with this type thing. The other thing I want to do is I want to make a ton of mallets. I think the best way to do this is to get them unfinished and like partially carved. That way the people can finish sand them and add their own carving to them or whatever, and make it their own. But I got this guy here, nice ash, solid ash. I kind of messed up on the top, but it's first mallet I ever made. Solid ash, has some weight to it, and a little thumb imprint right there with the with the 5-degree face on it. Real good for tapping work. Then you have a medium grip on it. And then down here where it kind of turns out into a bell with somewhere for your fingers to click. The flat face there. Boom. That's an off switch. Real good persuader. But I can fab up a bunch of these really fast, really easy. I have all the ash. It's already milled to a good thickness. I think it's a good product. Has a lot of weight to it, a lot of mass. So like when you're working on small things, or you're just going tap tap tap, it's effortless. And since it's ash, it makes a really good noise when it connects, kind of like a baseball bat. Listen to this. It's just, ooh, that wasn't even a hard tap. This thing you can get some weight going behind this. So I'm thinking about making one of these, but pretty much the handle stops here, just for doing leather work for myself, but also bringing a bunch of these to the table and making this a regular sale piece for sale, just because I think it's a wonderful idea. And here's the thing: wooden and rawhide mallets won't mess up your tools when you're using them. It also makes it look like you know what you're doing. You're the guy grabbing the specialty hammer. So I think people would buy some nice mallets that are relatively affordable. If not at the craft fair, I'm going to have them there. But if not at the craft fair, then online. Because I mean, this thing's maybe a 2-pound hammer, 3-pound hammer. There's some mass to it. It's 3/4 inch and a half, 2 1/4 wide by maybe 3 inches tall. Chunk of ash, and there's weight to it. There's weight to it. I mean, this is smaller, but this is only 4-ounce hammer. This thing is significantly heavier. So they're easy to produce. I can do them for an affordable rate, I think. And I think it'll make people, I think they'll sell, and I think it'll make people happy to see them. Where's my vape? Lose that friggin' thing all the time. There it is. So yeah, I have a ton of work to do for this upcoming craft fair. I have a lot of stuff like 80% done, and I have 2 more working days to get that last 20% and see where we come in. So yeah, I've been busy the last couple weeks. Eileen, how have you been? Have you making any progress on your projects, or what's going on with you? Yeah, on my end, it's just work my ass off as much as I possibly can, and it's been starting to pay off. Now, this will be the first craft fair I've done in a while, in about 3 years, 3 years. So we'll see how it plays out. But I think it's going to be even if I don't make money, it's going to be a good learning experience. But I think I'm gonna make some money. I think I have a good product. I think I have good products. I think I'm personable enough that I can, talk to several people. I have, a lot of product. And this craft fair is the week before Christmas, so I think a lot of people are going to be trying to get that last piece, that last little stocking stuffer or whatever. But I know my stuff's not cheap, but it's not super expensive either, so I should fall into a nice middle ground, I think. There's a lot of interesting strategy and mental math that goes along with being a creator and being a maker and trying to make a living at it. A lot of really interesting stuff. And I'm sure you're aware of all this as well. Let's see. Got one of the stove covers done for a camper. Ooh. Posted a pic to my page, then got another order for one. I have to put the black stain on the design today, then add butcher block oil. Ooh, butcher block oil, so nice. Here's a pro tip for you, Eileen. Butcher block oil is unscented food grade mineral oil. You can save a lot of money if you just get a jug of that. And the butcher block conditioner is unscented food grade mineral oil mixed with beeswax, food grade beeswax. That's all it is. Save a ton of money. If you start getting orders for cutting boards and stuff like this and the stove covers, that's the way to go. Let's see. I have holiday mugs and tumblers to get done for Christmas. Yeah. I still have to finish the last of my shopping. I'm going to try and do some of that today, I think. Just a few things I need to get here and there. But I think we're in pretty good shape for Christmas. I think so, at least. This year I am completely caught unprepared for all of it. All of it. Today will be a productive day after I clean up from the party last night. Ooh, party girl. Oh, by the way, when are you coming up to get that saw? Well, it's good that you had a party. Let's see. Now, here's the problem that I'm facing. I have a little black book that I have all my passwords in. Because I can't remember all my passwords. I know I can't remember all my passwords. So I took this little black book that has all my passwords in it. And I've seen it since we've been in this apartment. I put it somewhere safe so I wouldn't lose it. So when I needed to get into something and it kicked me out and I couldn't remember the password, poof, gone. So I needed this yesterday. I have some handles for things I need to wrap. I'm hoping January, December is just not a good month. I feel you there. December is a little rough. With holiday stuff and shopping stuff and emotions. December stuff. It always is. That's why I put out that video a couple weeks ago when I was shaving, talking about self-care. This is the season where you need to care for yourself the most. I'm not talking in like a Scroogian way, but it's like your car. If you run it and run it and run it and run it and run it, you're eventually going to start running out of gas. Now, if you take the 5 minutes or 10 minutes to go down to the gas station, fill it up, you'll be able to get to where you're going. However, if you keep running it and running it and running it and passing gas station after gas station after gas station, you're not going to get to your destination. You're going to be stranded on the side of the highway, and it's going to take you 10 times longer to get there. That's self-care. That's a great analogy for self-care. Running out of gas. Take the time this month, even if just 1 hour a day. Do something that is important to you, that fills your gas tank. Because if you don't, you're going to burn out, and you're not going to be good to anybody. And you're going to feel 10 times worse about burning out. Take the time for self-care. You need it, and you deserve it. And that goes for all of you people. You need the self-care, especially this time of year. But, luckily, on new message from Instagram user. Message unavailable. 3 weeks ago. Nice. Yeah. Take care of yourself this month. But on the solstice, which is Christmas Eve or Christmas, one of those two. I think it's Christmas Day. That is the solstice. The light starts coming back. The days start getting longer. We've been in decline since the equinox. Days have been getting shorter, more and more holidays piling on. It's rough. It's stressful. And with all these holidays piled so close together, it's all these memories of loved ones that have passed, or of family that we've gotten in fights with that we have to see, and stresses us out, and it depresses us, and it pushes us down, and there's less light. And there's another holiday coming up. There's Halloween, and you have to see people and do things, and there's less light, and you're stressed. And you start seeing Christmas stuff, and you're stressed. And then Thanksgiving comes, and you have to make all this food and see all these family members, and you're stressed, and there's less light. And then a few weeks later, Advent starts, and you're stressed. It's a countdown, and there's ads, and there's Black Friday, and there's less light, and you're stressed. And every day is closer and closer to Christmas, and you're not done yet. You're not ready yet. And there's less light every day. This is why you need self-care this time of year. But on Christmas, it's the solstice. On Christmas, our days start getting longer again. We're 1 week away from the solstice. You can make it. Buffering. What happened An error occurred. End stream. End.